like tigers, animals, anything like that? Huh?
Rocco, he's got to check you. He's just going to check you out, okay?
Yeah. Can you sit up for me?
Sit up. Real nice.
You're a good boy. I'm going to take some swab with his cast also, okay? Another chair.
A what?
So, I'm just going to swab the
Okay.
chairs and his cast.
Yeah. Rocco, they got to just check you, okay? It's no big deal. Yeah, we're going to go there and then we're going to eat in a minute. I know. It's kind of weird, but it's no big deal. And then you can put your Crocs on. Yeah, go on. What do you think of this? Weird, huh? It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Don't be nervous. It's okay. He's just checking to make sure that we're okay to get on the plane, that's all. Okay?
Yeah, that's all. Okay. If you can you lift your shirt up? If you don't want to do it here, I can move the thing to a private screening area. Okay. The back side? Okay. Can you put your hand right there? Yeah, just like that. How about this hand? Can I see that hand? Okay. Okay, just give me a second.
Here you go. He was shaking. We're almost done, buddy. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. He's just checking you out. Checking out this chair.
Here's that, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Janet Napolitano, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Homeland Security begins with hometown security. That's why I'm pleased that Walmart is helping to make our communities more safe and secure. If you see something suspicious in the parking lot or in the store, say something immediately. Report suspicious activity to your local police or sheriff. If you need help, ask a Walmart manager for assistance. Thank you for doing your part to help keep our hometowns safe.
I don't want to get my clothes.
One hand on your outer leg. You're going all the way up on her. And I'll be going not all the way up on her, but coming down the slide. Okay? Stay right here where mommy's at. Turn around and face me.
I want to do thank you.
Your legs out and step right here. Okay. Pretend the entire body, okay? Pretty hands. Put my hand around. Arm. Side. Waist. Put my hand in the waistband. All the way around. And then your sensitive area, I'm going to touch the back of my hand. Okay?
Oh, it's cute.
I won't be going all the way up. Just coming down. Same thing here. Same thing in the front. You come over here so you can see. Right here. Same thing with our waist. Put my hand in the waist. All the way around. All the way around. Sensitive area. Right here.
Thank you.
And that's
Would you submit to one of these pat-downs?
Not if I could avoid it. No, I mean, who would?
Thank you.
Embarrassing, you got that right. Watch your bags, air travelers. It has happened again. Last night it was Newark International Airport making news. Tonight the story of thieving TSA agents has shifted location to right here, JFK.
What? Not again? Oh yeah, again. TSA agents accused of stealing tens of thousands of dollars from airline passengers' checked baggage, but this time at JFK. So far, $39,980 has been recovered.
He's a cancer survivor. He wears a urotomy bag, and he went through security checks. What happened was he told them what had happened to his medical condition, that to be careful. He says they were not careful. During a pat-down, he said the search was aggressive. As a result, the bag burst, urine spilled out all over him as well. And that person talked to us by phone about the situation, and he's not happy about it at all. Here's what he told Fox 2.
My heart started beating. I didn't know what to do. I felt kind of trapped. Here I am in this room with no windows. I've got urine. Two men I don't know. My underwear had been dropped to the floor. I'm standing in front of them with my underwear and had to ask to pull it out.
Clearly, as Secretary Napolitano has said, you know, we're doing this because the terrorists keep getting more creative about what they do to hide explosives and, you know, crazy things like underwear.
Meantime, we're now learning there's a reason the latest airline plot was foiled at an early stage.
Officials from the U.S. and Yemen are telling us that the suicide bomber that Al-Qaeda in Yemen gave this bomb to last month was actually working for the U.S. and Saudi intelligence forces.
And
Get the fuck away from me.
You need to stop filming.
You leave me alone.
You need to stop filming.
Get your hands off of me. Get your hands off of me.
Stop filming. I told the police that you
Yeah, you do whatever the fuck you want. You touch me, I'll throw you down the stairs.
Not this kind of thing. I'm very sensitive to the drugs. That's it. It's not.
I've been really trying, baby. Trying to hold back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like I feel, baby, then come on. Oh!
This is Mario Mark Marcoletti, a Sicilian immigrant who worked for the Penn Central Railroad in central Indiana. He died in 2002 at the age of 91, and his family divided up his ashes. Recently, an uncle offered to give Southside resident John Gross part of the ashes while on a trip to Florida. They put them in a tightly sealed jar marked human remains. Gross didn't think he'd have a problem until he ran into a TSA agent at the Orlando airport.
They opened up my bag and I told him, please be careful. These are my grandpa's ashes. She picked up the jar, she opened it up.
What she wasn't supposed to do.
I was told later on that she had no right to even open it, that they could have used other devices like an x-ray machine. And so she opened it up, she used her finger and was sifting through it, and then she accidentally spilled it.
Gross says about a quarter to a third of the contents spilled on the floor, leaving him frantically trying to gather up as much as he could while anxious passengers waited behind him. And what did the clerk do?
She didn't apologize. She started laughing. I was on my hands and knees picking up bone fragments. You know, I couldn't pick up everything that was lost. I mean, there was a long line behind me.
Obviously, TSA can't replace the ashes, so what does Gross want?
I want an apology. I want an apology from TSA. I want an apology from the lady who opened the jar and laughed at me. I want them to help me understand where they get off treating people like this.
Not if I could avoid it. No, I mean, who would?
That they insisted that I go through it again.
56-year-old Claire Hershkin was hoping to spend Christmas with friends in California, but she never made it past the security checkpoint at ABIA.
Because I can't go through them because I have the equivalent of a pacemaker in me.
Hershkin says because of the device in her body, she was led to a female TSA employee and 3 Austin police officers. She says she was told she was going to be patted down.
I turned to the police officer and said, I have given no due cause to give up my constitutional rights. And you can wand me. And they said, no, I don't want to wand you. You have to do this.
Hershkin, who says she's a rape victim, agreed to the pat-down, but on one condition.
I told them, I said, no, I'm not going to have my breasts felt. And she said, yes, you are.
When Hershkin refused, she says,
the police actually pushed me to the floor, handcuffed me. I was crying by then. They dragged me 25 yards across the floor in front of the whole security.
An ABIA spokesman says it's TSA policy that anyone activating a security alarm has 2 options: opt out and not fly, or subject themselves to an enhanced pat-down. Hershkin refused both and was arrested. Now, the TSA did release a statement today that says, in part, our officers are trained to treat all passengers with dignity and respect. It goes on to say security is not optional.
I want a police officer now! No! I want a police officer! You just molested me! For God's sake, somebody help me! Please get a police officer over here! Police just took my dress! This is illegal! You can't do that! You can't do that to me! I can't believe you just did that to me! I can't believe you get a police officer right now! I can't believe you just did that! I can't believe you just did that to me! None of you care!
I need you to leave. Are you done with the screening process?
My mother.
I don't care. You need to leave the screening process now. Or now. Sir, we've already gone through this with you. You need to leave the screening process now. The screening process now. We're done.
They're not playing games with the rest
We've
of
already
the
gone through this with you guys once before. I need you to leave.
The poor little lady.
That's awesome.
I don't understand. We got 35 people that ride the train, and you're gonna harass everyone. It is in a 3-ounce container, though. So funny.
Good morning.
You guys came off the train, right? We all came off the train. I don't understand. Like, if you're getting on, you should get all this.
Not if I could avoid it. No, I mean, who would?
All right, good afternoon. It is Thursday, July the 5th, 2012. I'm at Chicago's Union Station, and we have TSA agents. You know, these aren't police officers. They don't have a right to grope us. They don't have a right to wear any badges. They're not authorized law enforcement agents, yet they have the audacity to do what they do at the airports. They have the audacity to come to our train stations. They got the TSA Viper teams. They have sooner or later we're going to see TSA at concerts. This has already happened in Michigan, up in Detroit. So I'm at Union Station. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and yes, TSA is here at Union. Looks like they're going to set up some type of TSA checkpoint at Union Station. I cannot believe this is happening. So there you go. You're seeing them setting up right there. They're getting all their equipment. And there's TSA at Union Station. They have no right to be here. I can film. I got the First Amendment.
Oh yeah.
Look at this. And their argument is we're doing our jobs and you can't tell. But if you can't make a judgment call on that woman.
Yeah. They're wiping up for gunpowder.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Terrible.
body scan, so it bounces the radio waves off the railing and not normally the body of that sometimes appreciate the patience. Thanks for your service.
So I'm here at Dallas Airport and I'm very emotional right now because I just went through security and I chose a line that purposely wasn't going through the body scanner, which I've read so many terrible things and I do a lot of traveling. So I said to myself, I will always opt out of that thing or try my best to go in a security line that doesn't require you to go through the machine because of the high radiation levels. And like I said, I travel a ton. I don't want to get more radiated than I already do in everyday life. So I chose the line that didn't seem to be going through that scanner, and when I got to the front of the security, they told me to go through the scanner, and I said, I don't want to go through there, I want to go through this line. That's why I came to this line and waited behind other people. I mean, the other line was empty. It seems like nobody wants to use that scanner or go through it. So I waited in line, and the guy said, well, you don't have to go through the scanner, but if you opt out, you're going to get a full body pat down. And I said, fine. And this was the second time that this has happened to me. It happened to me at LAX before on my way to Rio, and now I'm going home, so I'm flying through Dallas, and the pat down at Dallas Airport was completely different than the one I got at LAX. And I'm sure this woman was just doing her job, but she actually touched my vagina. And so I think that's why I'm crying, and that's why I'm so emotional, because I'm already so upset that they're making me do this, making me choose to either get molested, because that's what I feel like, or go through this machine that's completely unhealthy and dangerous, and I don't want to go through it, and here I am crying. Never in my wildest dreams that I think that this was going to make me cry, but I'm crying because I'm just really, really upset that as an American I have to go through this, and I do feel violated. I didn't think that I would when I had to opt out of the machine, but I completely feel violated. This woman, she touched my vagina 4 times, because she went up my leg, up both legs, from behind, and then turned around and did it in the front. So that was my experience this morning at Dallas Airport. Okay, so I just talked to TSA. I spoke to a supervisor, Camila. She's very sweet. And she gave me this card. This is a TSA customer comment card, and I am supposed to fill it out. And she gave me 3 options. I can call and complain, I can fill this out and mail it, or I can go to tsa.gov and fill out a complaint there. So I have no idea what this is going to do. I'm hoping that other people that feel violated as an American will make these complaints and maybe they'll change something if they get enough of them. I don't know. That's why I'm doing it, because I'm hoping that something will change in the near future. Because I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know, drug smugglers, sometimes I've heard they put drugs up their rectum. So what happens when, you know, a bomber or somebody, a terrorist, puts something up their rectum? Are we going to get rectal exams at the airport? Is that what's next? This whole thing is very troublesome to me, and it pisses me off. I'm clearly upset about it. And, you know, a very sweet older woman who was an airport volunteer came over to me, and she was trying to comfort me because she saw me crying, and I asked her to get me a supervisor, a TSA supervisor, and she said, well, honey, you know what? She's like, I'd rather do a pat down or go through the scanner than, you know, be blown up. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to find comfort in that, but I didn't. So, I don't know, it's just all very odd, and I feel like none of this works anyway. So, we'll see. I'm going to fill out my card, I'm going to go online and fill out a complaint online, and I'm also going to call. I'm going to do all 3. So, hopefully they will hear me loud and clear.
Not if I could avoid it. No, I mean, who would?
Does the government exist to work for us, or do we exist to serve the government? I want you to ask that question when you stop a cop and ask for directions, when you go to a courthouse for jury duty, when you deal with the IRS, when you try and get a straight answer from your congressman or senator, and especially when you go to the airport. An airport in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and try to get on a plane. The country is turning upside down. Just listen to some of the headlines that greeted your Freedom Watch team this morning. 100 body scan images leak out. NYPD adopts eye scan technology. TSA to investigate body scan resistor. This sounds more like East Germany in the 1960s than what one would hope for in America today. What happened? The porn-loving TSA kept and distributed to their buddies in the federal bureaucracy hundreds of photos of naked Americans. That could be you, Mr. and Mrs. America. Is that what we pay the government to do? In another story, the New York City police want to take a photo of the inside of the eyeball of whomever they arrest. Never mind that you own your body. Never mind that as a suspect you are innocent until proven guilty. Never mind that only a judge could authorize such a bodily invasion after hearing the case in court. And the TSA wants the Department of Justice to investigate John Tyner, the courageous young man from whom you heard earlier in the show, who had the guts to tell the thugs that if they touched him inappropriately, he'd call the local police. They lied to him and told him they could touch his private parts and it would not constitute a sexual assault. This is what happens when the government breaks its own laws. It becomes a law unto itself. I have a friend who is a self-made, successful businessman. He travels from New York to Texas on a regular basis. His business ventures have created wealth and jobs for many folks. He's one of the nicest guys I know. A few years ago, he had an artificial knee implanted to address an old athletic injury. Just like the millions of Americans who cannot go through the TSA's new radiation-producing porn scanners, he opts for a handheld scan. They used to do the handheld scan with a handheld metal detector. Now they touch his body, his entire body. Last week in Houston, Texas, in the United States of America, they ruined his shirt. They damaged his suit jacket, and they pulled down the zipper of his pants in order to look at his underwear in public, in an airport, with strangers watching. What people would allow their government to get away with this? What has become of our self-respect? What has become of our natural rights? Could you imagine Washington or Jefferson or even the big government-loving Roosevelts letting the feds pull down their pants? Is life so sweet and peace so dear that we will sacrifice personal dignity and bodily integrity at the command of an authoritarian government? Tomorrow we will give you some answers to those questions, and here's a hint. What would happen if everyone opted out of the porn screeners? What would happen if the local police kicked the TSA out of our airports? What would happen if millions of Americans say to these thugs, hands off?